Well, we're on our way to Edinburgh Airport on the 22nd of June. And then from there we'll be flying to Copenhagen. Where I have 3 or 4 meetings, and then we'll be getting on a cruise to go up to the Scandinavian fjords, if that's the right terminology. I just got off a phone call with Australia, um, a conference call with one of the major Japanese banks um, and their investment fund. It's 350 years old, and for a deal I'm involved with one of my mentees in Australia, and I brought it to their attention that many years ago I was partners with the Japanese national oil company, JAPEX, as it was called, Mr. Wada and Mr. Ito. Uh, and the and I don't know how that resonated. It couldn't have resonated too poorly. And in this particular case, it just illustrated. It happened to be me in this case that the dream team concept works and has worked for forever, because the young kid that's involved in this deal, he has credit for the track record of the people that are part of his team, of which in this particular case I happen to be one. But the other dream teams that are being organized as I speak right now are have similar track records and similar backgrounds. Um, the Oxford talk for Oxford entrepreneurs went live yesterday, but so by the time this is published, it should have quite a few people will have listened to it, and it's about an hour and 40 minutes long, with the introduction and the post closing or post summary, and so but it makes for good listening, and the Oxford kids who had a lot of interesting questions, not dissimilar to the questions you kids ask me all the time. As it turned out, there was 250 tickets allocated for the Oxford talk to Oxford, and then non-Oxford participants, we got, I believe, 50 tickets. It might have been more than 50. And so, but it went very well. The talk went well, and I was pleased. And I've commented that I'm inclined to do other university talks. And so, for starters, we're going to look around at the London-centric universities like London School of Economics, Imperial College London, etc., and see if we can get some interest from either the business schools, the business societies, or the entrepreneurial organizations, to give some 90, 120-minute deals. I like that format, for free, obviously for free, and it gives me an opportunity. It's not too long, and Sally and I like to go to London, and so it'll give us an opportunity to go to London and meet with some of my mentees and talk at other universities. So hopefully we can put 2 or 3 of those together over the next 12 months or so. So that's a good project. The reality show, as I've mentioned in the last couple of these, is going to be veteran-centric. In other words, for vets. And I've contacted, or I'm in the process of contacting, some high-level vets. A couple of which I have some distant relationship with, and most of which I don't have any, other than being a vet like they are. And so to help get some sponsorship, not in the form of money, but in the sponsorship in the form of them saying they agree or they think it's a good idea. So we're pushing that forward. As I've mentioned before, the pundits in the studios, the production companies, have all told me that they didn't like the idea of a veteran program. They said there wasn't any interest. And I just don't believe that. And so I'm going to push it forward myself. I've formed a production company to do all this called QLA Productions. And it's based both here in Scotland and in Asia, where we have a production team. So that's going forward. We are in the midst of catching up because we don't have another seminar until the 20th of July, I believe. And we're not quite fully booked yet, a month away, but I would be surprised if we don't become fully booked. And again, we are having a whole plethora of different people from different parts of the world. And speaking of different parts of the world, for the Oxford talk, we had people fly in from around the world. We had some people flying from Australia. We had people flying from the United States. We had people coming from mainland Europe, which isn't too far. And I believe we had people come in from Mexico. So it seems an awful long ways to come and hear me talk for 90 minutes, but I'm gratified, and I don't think I left, I know I didn't leave anything on the stage. I gave it up my all. And that's why I've said that I'll do some more of those. I like those. One, they're easy for me, although I could talk 6 or 8 hours, but I mean, they're easy for me, and it gets the word out. I have taken some heat for my endorsement of Mr. Trump, and he's down in the polls now. So we'll see. I fully expect him to make it a much closer contest as we get closer to the election in November. But I've taken some heat about my endorsement and for Mr. Trump, and I've said on several occasions, not the least of which when I first talked about Mr. Trump to Brian Rose in the last interview that I gave Brian back in February, that I don't agree with everything Mr. Trump says, but what I do agree with is the country needs fucking change. The country's all fucked up. And I couldn't agree with Trump more on that aspect. And if you confuse my political beliefs with QLA, you're as stupid as I always thought you were as listeners, and that's why you're so fucking poor. My political beliefs have nothing to do with whether QLA works or not. And to their credit, to testament to the Oxford men, not one swinging dick asked me about politics, not one. So they must be smarter than the American devotees, because whether I like Trump or not, it's got nothing to do with whether QLA works, and has worked for 45 years that I've been using it, only knowing it was QLA the last 23 years. And I gave the example of Andrew Carnegie was using a QLA derivative, if you will, more than 100 years ago. And as I said in the talk to Oxford, that he had 4 secrets to success. The first secret to success, Mr. Carnegie said, was financial motive must prevail, which isn't very politically correct. In other words, if there's no fucking money in it, it's not going to fucking work. And if your people don't get paid fucking money, they're not going to work. So the little wee Scott knew this shit more than 100 years ago. And as I told the Oxford attendees, and what has resonated finally with me the last few years is that all the guys that the millennials like to follow, the Elon Musk's, etc., now Zuckerberg, etc., have all made a ton of money, and then because they have more choices, they're going to try to save the world. And so I've told them to take some action, create some wealth, and then go take on their high and lofty goals about saving the world. And that's been going on since Andrew Carnegie went crazy trying to give all his money away when he was close to his death, about 100 years ago. So that's hopefully resonated with the kids at Oxford.